we are. And, okay. I mean, the real consequence of all the lockdown and such is that I wound up playing and streaming a lot more Mario Maker than I originally expected. Okay, I'm not getting to bounce anymore. I think I'm being too cautious about it. I was getting it very consistently in earlier attempts. I think I've maybe been playing this slightly on autopilot. That it is a bit of a problem here. Just pausing for a moment to look at my stream indicators to see if anything was wrong. Seems like we might have had a momentary glitch. I think that things look okay. Yeah, it looked like we had like a brief reset. But if I'm still connected, things should be fine. Yeah, it looks like we actually did have a brief reset and interruption. But we are back online. And it's not like I've progressed in the last few minutes, so not a big deal. Should be live anyway. I think somebody will need to confirm that for me on the end user's side. But yeah, it definitely was some kind of interruption to the stream. I hope it wasn't too long or too big a deal. Usually I'd stop and look into the problem, but I think everything just kind of continued naturally, so... Only real impact is that it will end up splitting the videos. It will be annoying on my side, but that's okay. Over a long stream, you don't necessarily expect one segment to last. And yeah, okay. I am finally reconnected to the chat room, so if anybody has actually been confirming that I am back online, or has otherwise been trying to talk to me, I have not been able to see what's going on. Just been playing the level and hoping that the reconnection has been roughly in order. Might just be Twitch being glitchy. But yeah, not really much meaningful progress in this level since the apparent disconnection. If anything, I've been sort of losing my grip on this a little bit. And so hopefully we'll be back in order. Everything was okay, it was less than a minute, yeah. Like, I didn't really even see this register as an interruption the way I normally would, but it tells me I'm offline. Like, it was a little difficult for me to notice that everything had blinked off, but... Okay. That's fine then. Good to have confirmation that things are working. And yeah, my stream was restored in terms of the, you know, timer for how long I'd been live resetting. Speaking of which, Redox, as somebody who enjoys minimalist music, you should check our uptime command, ! Uptime. But yeah, when the uptime reset, there we go. When the uptime resets, that was when I noticed that something was up. Okay, we have to hold up going into this thing. There is a kind of spiky cake there. That's going to take me through to the Boom Boom Cake. Or YMM. Whoa. Can I nuke Boom Boom the way I normally do in a Mang level? Of course I can, of course I can. It's funny because you were only a couple of seconds off on Uptime Command. Only a couple seconds off the actual composition by John Cage, which is not the intentional effect, but let's see if we can beat Boom Boom here. Okay, only 2 hits before we get the key here. By the way, if you look at the cake over here, it's like the cake has little angry eyes on the conveyor belt. You see what I'm saying on a design? It's like the cake is a face with eyes. And it's like a grumpy face. What was the name of this level? Doki Doki Platforms, yeah. I guess it's like Wart. I think it's supposed to be Wart for somebody. Sort of reminds me of Wart, since it is, you know, Doki Doki level. So why don't we say something mildly interesting about the cake? It totally is a Wart cake. Kind of. What can we call it? A succulent. Subcon. Split. And it's delicious, so we'll put on our delicious face. Yeah, it totally is a face. It's very obvious to me. And of course I'm going to check down here. There's no way that would have been left untouched. Well, I don't know, kind of like a banana split, based in Subcon from Super Mario Bros. 2. But thank you for making that. That was a lot of fun. I mean, I died on it for quite a while, but it still doesn't feel like it's, you know, quite the same thing as some of the 4-star levels in terms of difficulty. But I think it may just be because I adapt to this kind of mechanics-based difficulty much better than I adapt to things that are like very tight and very speed or reflex based. That just comes from being an untidy player who needs some second chances at things, and so I think this was a very good fit. Anyway, very relaxing stroll. I'm going to try to do the remaining 2 with the time that I have available. I see that it's Lecter's level, followed by Death to Spies Grand Finale. Lecter's level is about 2%. That Thwomp super weapon he keeps hearing about. And where's Death to Spies? He's gotta be here somewhere. Is Celeste, or her Celeste level? With your own worst enemy, 1.6% because it is Celeste. We'll do it. We'll try to do it. I mean, my sort of recording reset anyway, because the stream went down. I'm also glad I didn't die to Boom Boom. And yeah, Pareidolia for sure, in terms of, you know, being able to just see faces and things. I think that's true when you look at the sort of thwompy face in the title image here as well. Although I think the thwompy face here is in fact supposed to be a face. Yeah, I definitely felt like dying to Boom Boom was a risk. I had that on my mind when I was playing that. Let's do it. Let's do it. I've been looking forward to this one. I had seen I had not played a prototype of it, but I had seen like a video clip of a very early version when Lecter was showing off the tech, and oh no, we don't want to respawn through door. So, Welcome to the Machine is not going to be, as I think somebody else has observed already, a Pink Floyd music level. But yeah, it looks like we have this Thwomp assembly arm that's going on. Hey, that feels pretty clean, platforming-wise. That's going to break. Oh, look at that. Love being able to slip through like that. Bounce like that. Whoops. I see the first coin is down there. We should have gone forward for it and bounced back out. Yeah, the burner giving the Thwomp a little bit of a push. The initial diagonal... Oh, too busy describing what's going on instead of actually playing the game. And what's going on here? Let's drop over here. Nope. Let's go a little lower than that. Really interesting use of Night Airship so far, just to get everything nice and floaty. And here we go. And we'll go forward. Yeah, Electro levels are always a treat. They have this wackiness to them. I don't know why I was dodging the one-way panels. Those were down only, and that was fine. Because I think the MC Escher level was the one that Lecter originally intended for 4YMM, but it was an upside-down level, and, you know, some upside-down levels just get skipped. That was the explanation I was given. It was partly an upside-down level. I mean, okay, didn't expect it to inch over quite like that. I guess it is being bumped by something lower down. Do need to get to that rather quickly, unless I'm supposed to wrap around on the left side, which may be the case. I don't really know yet what the exit strategy will be for coin number 1. Coin number 1 of 4 plus safety, probably. And, yeah. Let's just loop back in. And, yeah. Nice claw timings, actually. Very subtle in the way that the claws kind of blend in quite well with the semi-solid decorations that are suspending the platforms, suspending the bridges. That was approximately what I wanted, except I was not really compensating for the Thwomp bumping around like that. I did want to go up through that slot, get onto Cannonball, get back onto the main arm of this International Space Station that's slowly being assembled. Speaking of which, don't know if anybody here watched the splashdown of the Crew Dragon spacecraft yesterday. That was kind of a major Twitch event for me yesterday, you know, even with it coinciding with the release of 4YMM Week 7. Yeah, that was a real treat. And I had thought that we hadn't had a splashdown, like a manned splashdown since the Apollo program, and that was kind of correct. So, like, basically, without disclosing my actual age or anything, like, this was the first one within my lifetime. found that quite fascinating to follow. I also did follow the initial launch and docking. Back when that happened a while ago. Actually, it was only kind of the end of May, beginning of June, and it feels like such a long time ago because that was the same weekend that, well, things kind of started getting pretty wild in the United States, and with some pretty significant institutional effects that I could not have anticipated at the time. Oops. So yeah, a lot has changed in a time that the astronauts have been away. But yeah, that was quite a treat to watch. Found it rather interesting that, watching it on Twitch anyway, that NASA had switched to emote-only chat, which I don't think I'd ever seen used before, but was a kind of interesting solution to how to keep chat relatively under control. And moreover, you couldn't spam the emotes either, like you were limited to one emote, or one of each emote. You know, so the children can control themselves when it comes to Twitch chat. Funny how different the Twitch chat experience is on a small stream like this one, because it just has this reputation, like on any reasonably large stream, of being this unreadable mess that you just hide or mute. That you mute in the case of, you know, orators, text-to-speech, and the endless RRRs. Whoops. Okay, let's try to do this accurately. I still haven't properly escaped the collection of coin number 1. So that is something that remains to be solved. That's okay. At least coin collection methods are going to be the obstacle separating us from the cake here. But it doesn't mean that this is a level where I won't need to think too much about additional time that has to be expended on searching. At least I doubt it. Oh, no. Yeah, clearly I do need to wrap around on that jump there. I think it's increasingly clear to me that, with the way this is set up, that that is the only real exit point. And so I just need to execute that. Whoops. And I would kind of expect a checkpoint immediately after this segment anyway, just given my intuitive sense of how this would be paced. And also because you would have so many mechanisms that are dependent on the spawn position of everything at the beginning of your entry into a world or subworld, that it would only make sense for checkpoints to be right at the starting position in order for anything to load in consistently, since you have so many interactive parts that are going on. Nope, missed that. Bump my head on the panel once again. But if I buy myself enough time, I should be able to do that cleanly. Okay. And we'll make it through here. Nope, once again, not able to beat that. There is that gap between the thwomp and the cannonball that I can use, but I'm not really compensating for the speed of that lower platform as it gets nudged to the left, one tile at a time. So, it's just something we haven't been able to do yet. Whoops. we'll see what can happen. Okay, down we go. And compensating there. Lost connection for a minute, okay. I don't see any blips on my end, but once again, the last blip also didn't quite register for me locally until quite a bit later, so hopefully we don't have more video splitting and other issues to deal with. Okay. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know anyway. Always good to know whether things are still working. Kind of impressed that I have not had the audio glitch today that we normally experience here. Oh, no, need a bit more of a dash. Oh, I'm safe down there. Interesting. Oh, probably because of the scroll lock and the surface that the Thwomp is traveling on. The custom scroll, rather, and the surface down below. That was, in fact, safe. But yeah, I need a bit more of a dash to get enough height to climb back up at that point. But if I go quickly, it clearly can be done. Just need to get down on that Thwomp as soon as possible to buy time, and make that jump out of there after coin 1 as comfortable as possible. Oops. Yeah, there's a lot of, I think, sort of generational pessimism about the shuttle, because the shuttle, you know, in its own time, there were a lot of things that seemed like the program was not as, well, not very exciting, I guess, in that it was, you know, very easily mired in, well, not only the obvious sort of engineering issues that led to the Challenger and Columbia disasters, and the engineering oversight issues, rather, like the managerial problems that were kind of famously described in the Feynman report back in the Challenger inquiry. But also just a sense that, you know, you're basically taking cargo back and forth to lower Earth orbit. I found, though, that when I saw one of the decommissioned shuttles in person, like when I finally saw the display of Atlantis that has now been mounted at the Kennedy Space Center, which I visited a few years ago, that, like, I kind of had a newfound respect for the shuttle program now that we're on the other side of it. I think it's one of those things that is almost easier to appreciate in retrospect. Yeah, I don't know how the other displays of the remaining shuttles are set up. Like, I do know that they have, I don't remember which one Endeavour was docked in and which one had Discovery, but I think it was Discovery in California and Endeavour at the Smithsonian, right? If I'm correct? But anyway, that's... The way Atlantis is displayed in Kennedy Space Center in Florida is that they have the body of it kind of open and fully displayed to the public, and so you can kind of see it, you know, with the cargo bay exposed and mounted pretty much right in front of you, and there is something kind of awe-inspiring about the way that it is presented now that it has something. It is something that, you know, sort of made an impact and has returned home. But I do agree that, you know, like, the general perception of the space program having stalled since Apollo is a fairly common one, I think, and one that is very understandable. But yeah. Kind of nice to be excited about manned spaceflight again, though, even if it is just... Well, mostly just a new craft, new engineering. The... Oh, we got it, we got it, we got it. Let's do the scroll break. And the one up. Look at that thwomp on the side, that's curious. Why did I do that? That looks like a safety platform, that's why. I thought I could get on that safely and let everything pass. But I may have misread that. Politics, like, you know, space program politics, or what? But yeah, there's, it's kind of nice to have launch capacity again, and that's not to be nationalistic about it, like, there's... It's not... I mean, I'm not American anyway, it's not like there was any kind of Cold War thing to work out here. But... You know, like, the kind of... renewed dependence on Russia for manned launch and landing was something that you could consider a security risk in some ways, even though, like, scientific communities get along quite well. But even apart from all that, I think it's just sort of nice to, like, think of manned spaceflight as something that is going on. I know that some people often have doubts about whether it's actually worth the cost and risk and so on, but it did feel like we had stalled on it for a very long time. Not that I have a problem with robots either. Rover programs are very exciting to watch as well and follow. Need to go a little faster on that landing. I need to move that thwomp really as soon as possible. Just to open that window. For coin 1. Yeah, kind of interesting to just think about space in the context of playing this level 2, where we're basically seeing this massive technical assembly. If what I understand of this concept is correct. Hey, there we go. Nice low bounce is the solution there. That's what I was thinking for quite a long time anyway, but it's quite a different story to finally do it. Yeah, we just walk under. Okay, we have the skewer here. The coin here. Okay. Okay, we just ride it out. We just ride it out. Don't know if there was anything on top of that. I guess we need to get some lower bounces. Thankful for that mushroom right there. Okay, what do we do about the coins there? It looks like that's probably an entry point for the snake blocks. Oh, there's a coin. Let's grab that. Having this available as well could do something. Mecha Koopa. What does the Mecha Koopa do? Okay, that's just a spot to dispense the shell. We can kind of get on top of the blue pipe, but I don't see why we would want to. Mecha Koopa... Oh, we have a couple of Mecha Koopas there. I don't think this is doing anything interesting for us, though. What do we do about that thwomp on the left? How do we get rid of this one in the first place? This, Oh, we can bump the cannonballs. Bump them. Bumping them does nothing because they stop colliding at that point. So, what do I do? I feel like you have the mecha on the left. You have a potential way to head down on the left side, which would give you what? It would allow you to approach that thwomp. We No, it was Snake Block that blew this open earlier, right? Snake Block blew it open. What do we do here? On-off block seems interesting. Oh, you know what? I can... Sorry, that's a mistake. I can just try to bump the Thwomp with the Spiny Helmet. That's the solution. Jump on top of this guy. Nope, need to get it from under. Yeah, no, bump the Thwomp. Okay, that was already bounced. There we go. Ding dong. Ding dong merrily on high. Let's drop those. Oh, very convenient exit platform. That's wonderful. Fishbone check there. Don't know what that's all about. Oh, okay. This is actually just kind of complicated spiny hat removal service. And so we have 2 coins so far. We have a checkpoint that allows us to save them, so hopefully that's all the coins we need to worry about at the moment. Okay, looks like part 2 of Thwomping. Yeah, that's okay. We can get there and get out. That's a fairly simple coin 3. I do see some locked doors on the right side after that. Nope. Need to not land on the center because that is the Thwomp. And the Thwomp is unsafe. The Thwomp is very spiky. Let's not do that either. Just gonna hang right, not that far right, and grab the pink coin, back out. Made the same mistake because I was too busy thinking about the blue mecha, despite of the fact that the beam was safely blocked. Okay. Yeah, I love just the general sense of this concept being getting the cannonballs to clip onto the Thwomps. Very neat effect. Okay, arrow is going to tell me to hang right. But I am, at the same time, trying to spot where potential coin locations could be. So, is it okay that I get way ahead? I'm not that far ahead. That's fine. I'm gonna need another one. Okay, too low. That is coin 4, though, and that means that accounting for the safety coin, we have all of them accounted for, so. Which is good news. That's a different activation timing than I usually see. And that's it for that. Okay. Let's move on up, let that get blocked by the Thwomp shoulder, as I've come to think of it. Coin 4 is going to be up on the claw if we just go nice and quickly. Okay. Okay. I was trying to recover my swing position such that I would be able to get up on that cannonball. Because I did get the coin at a pretty decent time window, I think. It's nice and early. Oh boy. Not the trigger timing that I usually get. I do need to wait on that just slightly so that the Thwomp shoulder actually does help me block mecha fires. Okay. We are. And up to the claw, up to the stump. Everything feeling pretty comfortable so far. We'll ride a cannonball. I'm not really confident in getting up to that claw right away. I was able to swing up to the higher claw earlier. I'm trying to visualize the spacing here to see if I can just get up to claws without assistance. And yeah, here we are. And I was late on that. I was way late. Actually do need to go as fast as I was going earlier. Catch that on the first available cycle. So what do we got now? We are going to rise up. Very fancy. Okay, right side. That arrow gives me plenty of warning. Plenty of visibility here as well, yeah. It feels like I'm going fast and beating the auto-scroll, but all of this actually does seem to be part of the intended timing. Oh, we're in trouble now. Okay, no, got it, got it. Managed to save that, just barely. Oh, it looks like the head is going to come together, and that's going to be the boss fight. The mech has been assembled in its full form. There's a lot going on the screen, and I have to read what to do. It looks like the on-off here is what we want to make contact with. That if I draw a missile over here, it should blow up. And that is something we might be able to do repeatedly, except, of course, that platform is now down. However, we have a POW. Can I just throw the POW? Yes. We're going to disassemble this part by part. Okay, we have a Koopa as well. I wonder what the Koopa is going to be useful for. The Koopa could be useful for hitting the next on-off switch. And the way I do that is I can use the POW as a landable platform. Or just do it that way. Now, what comes out of the red pipe now that we've unlocked it? A P-switch. Okay. Let's get across while the P-switch is in fact active, and that's going to give me the final coin. Spectacular, boss. Spectacular. You know, difficult to read at first when you are just trying to pick out what to do in the fight. But I think when it comes together, it is just extremely satisfying. The P-switch is quite obviously going to give you cake room. And given the Pink Floyd title on this level, I think you do have to leave an appropriate comment. All in all, it's just another cake in the wall. And let's give it a surprised face. Dismayed face? Surprised face. Yeah, I have not been coming up with very many decent cake comments. I feel like that's maybe one of my prouder ones, out of a very limited selection. And we're going to get 1.5. And a lot of, well, pop sounds, basically. Just kind of giving us this very wild celebration. There we go. That's Lecter's level. Number 7 down. So 1 more to go. One thing I have to remember to do, and in fact maybe we'll do this now. Let's take a look at the comment art we've seen so far. I'll try to do this for the last level as well, your own worst enemy, but let's just see them all. We don't need to do them in order. I regretted not showing off more of the comment art when I was doing this in previous weeks, because some of it has been great. And I say that, of course, not having encountered any comment art. But here's some cake. Yay, cake from Shruzy. Oh, the homing fish is certainly threatening Carlos. It's not that hard. You just have to hold A and follow the coins and fishes. See you and Super Expert Tomachu. You are filled with determination. This guy, certainly waiting for his Undertale to come along, and should play some of the Undertale levels by Ren. Ah, here's artwork by Cats. Cats drawing cats, of course. Samurai Pizza Cats. That's a pizza on the left, right? That looks like a pizza. I will play the last one. I will at least try the last one. Somebody's been suspended and blocked. Ah, here's some fishbone drawings from Mang. Unstapling the fish, I think. I'm kind of curious about Lecter's. Only 13 comments on it so far, but... Ooh. Don't know what's going on here. Oh yeah, look at Gilmore's illustration of the Super Mech. Gilmore also did a very similar illustration of the boss in my level, with the piranha in the clown car, and so it was also from a first-person perspective, looking straight into its eyes. And yeah, look at that little mother brain. Oh yeah, look at that. Swamp Mech in its final form. Good design with the diagonal tracks running everywhere. And what do we have here? In Julian's Martin level. Once again, Gilmore doing his first-person dentistry boss. This guy isn't very nice. The cake is totally not a lie. Cake is fantastic. Oh, here's Mang Morton. And here's Morton's Salt from Ragnarok X. Very appropriate brand of salt. I will be continuing in a moment. I just wanted to show off some of this stuff to see what's going on. Yeah, got a Boom Boom Cake, as always. I recognize this as part of the level. Definitely recognize that. Ragnarok X. Ragnarok X, also a very good illustrator in his own right. Cake Clicker 2020, yeah. Got some people raging. Hey, look at Gilmore. He's got Ludwig with the egg claw. Actually, rather delicately handling that egg with the claw now that you think about it. And, yeah. Red Yoshi is not so fond of serving omelets. Story levels gang from Kerfix, yep. Definitely part of the story level set. Without a doubt. What do we got here? Something about JoJo? Something about, yeah. Sitting right by the rainbow over top of the 4YMM room. And what else have we played? I guess it was a re-upload on Goomboot Grotto, so some of the illustrations may have been reset on this. But yeah, he lost. It's clear. That's too bad that we won't get to see as many illustrations, but in the meantime, let's take a look at your own worst enemy, which is music from Celeste. Collect golden and red strawberries for best ending. Now, hopefully the golden strawberries will not be dependent on the same condition as the ones in Celeste, which do require you to one-shot the whole thing, but if they do, we'll do it. You didn't get Yoshi. You didn't get Yoshi in which level, Lantis? In the Ragnarok X one, where you get red Yoshi at the end? Anyway. Oh, right, because Yoshi just dies if, like, even green Yoshi dies. Yeah, if you miss the final rescue. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time making sure I could get that ending. The way it's set up technically is quite complex. It took me some practice. But I just let Ludwig zap me at a flag in the end, so I would only have to redo the boss fight. And not only does it take you some practice, like, there's more to it than just saving the egg. There is an additional challenge afterwards that I had an equal amount of trouble with. But in the meantime, let's take a look at your own worst enemy, where you already have the Call grabbing a record, although he is not going for the clean sweep this week, at least not so far. We have first clear by Aona, who I don't know, but Death Despise has a very popular profile full of flight levels and music levels, and so we'll see how it goes. Ah yes, you were here for that part, yes. Sometimes can't remember when people come in. We see a checkpoint that is based on the off state. It's been a while since I played Celeste, so I have to remember if I remember this track, like whether it's from the reflection level or something. I mean, it is the Celeste theme, but I don't know which mix of the Celeste theme it is. I did play that game extensively back when it was new, but I never went back for the Chapter 9, nor did I finish the Seasides. Okay. We're going to have the usual problem that I run into with auto-scroll music levels, which is that when the challenge is to go fast and to play really cleanly, I have a lot of trouble with that. Look at that coin up there. That is only obtainable, I think, probably after a state switch. So I don't see how it can be done right now, unless there is some kind of shell trigger I don't see. Like this guy here. Oh, not a shell trigger. Of course, we see a full suite of 10 coins here, which does mean we can expect placement of 5 per subworld, since that is the editor limit. So yeah, skip that coin, go for the next one. I'm sort of interested in seeing how everything is going to drop in the second run through this. There is clearly going to be a second run past the checkpoint where everything is in the on state, and you won't have platforms here, you'll just have to bounce off things like the bones. Too slow. Yeah, this is the main theme to Celeste, but there are a number of different variations to it. Okay. Celeste is, I think, very good for people who like sort of strict and linear platforming, in the same way that, I mean, you know, Kaizo players and Precision players are kind of in it for different reasons, but those are kind of mentalities that are the best fit for Celeste, I would say. It's not even a difficulty, it's the kind of difficulty, right? That, you know, I think sometimes difficulty that's kind of gated by narrow margins for precision are not that interesting to me, but clearly a lot of people want that in their platforming design. But yeah, I enjoyed Celeste. Like, it has a very smart approach to handling things like optional collectibles. In terms of, like, making them uncheesable. Way too slow if we're going for the coin path. This is already something with about a 1.6 clear rates. And as I knew from Composer's level last week and some of Composer's older levels, like, a 1.6 on something like this, where it's fairly strict about speed and positioning, is actually harder for me than something that is like 0.7 or 0.8 like the level from Meng earlier, where I get some time to reposition and plan. Like, I don't do strict design very well. But strict design is a good fit for Celeste thematically. I missed that. It's okay, we'll go back after a death, as I'm sure I'll have to. I can't really stop to hit that block. I need to have full momentum to do so, and I'm not clear at the moment on how I'm going to do that. Shorter jumps, maybe. Yeah, just shorter, cleaner jumps. Less time spent in the air. Try to get as far forward as I can. Okay. I was there fast enough this time. I just missed that jump. I did have the right position. You thought Death Despise would make a puzzle level. That's interesting. I mean, Death Despise seems best known for cape and leaf levels, if anything. But I haven't really played enough of their puzzles to say. Okay. You know, I had some people tell me that they thought I would make a puzzle level as well, and I definitely didn't. But I think it's partly because if people know me from my very small and modest stream here, they know me from the Goomba level that I had made before 4YMM. And they would expect me to be a puzzle person. I don't know how to make them, I just play them. That lower coin looks like it will need to wait for a different scroll positioning that comes from our second run here. I hope I'm right. Okay, that's going to be... Yep. Second run through here, and it looks like we have some... Oh, okay. Key coin. The key, rather, is the golden strawberry. So for true ending, you actually do need to one-shot this. Yeah. Because the key works the same way that the golden strawberry did in Celeste originally, which is you do have to start over. It might be a bonus within the cake, because like you'll have two keys here. You'll have one key from the pink coins, which aren't red strawberries. And you'll have the key at the front, which is the golden strawberry, which works the same way that they did in the original game, and that preserving it as proof of not dying is the highest tier of unlock. So in order to be a completionist about this, I will actually have to eventually do this in one shot. I don't know if I will have time to do it on this stream, but in the meantime, I'm going to practice all these segments ahead so we can do this as cleanly as possible and kind of really nail the intended method for what I want to do. Okay, I do need to jump onto each successive claw. That will eventually get me to the lower coin that I want. Yeah, so we'll just practice this. And we'll see if Doing the golden strawberry is practical. Okay. Yeah, and you can hear the arrangement of the music elaborated upon on a second cycle and layered with some additional instruments and counter melodies, the way you would expect when you have the on-off toggle. Yeah, very nicely arranged here. But we will have to get this down very, very reliably in order to do a true completionist run. Okay, nice fall off that coin, actually. Not enough momentum. I didn't fall very gracefully into that claw. Kind of thing I will need to sort out. If I can do it 100% of the time. Yeah, I'm not entering the first claw correctly. I need to enter it lower, I think, in order to do that right. Satisfying to get that coin, at least. Nope, got trapped. Hang on, one moment. Sorry, thought something had glitched with the stream. I think it is still okay, though. Okay, trying to do that jump a little too tightly to gain time. That's not the right idea. Yeah. Very true, of course, to the theme of being a Celeste level in that you have low headroom from spikes everywhere. Which is something that is not really to my taste in Mario Maker either, but that was my general feeling about Celeste, is that, like, it was clearly a great game. It would be superb if it just gave you a little bit more headroom and didn't try to kill you on the basis that you would just respawn on every screen. But that's just a balancing disagreement. I tend to like kind of medium difficulty over long stretches, and a lot of consistency-based difficulty. Whereas there are some rooms in Celeste that just feel like bashing your head against a wall 1,000 times until it breaks down. Until the wall breaks down, not until your head breaks down. Okay. 4 coins so far. That seems correct. We're limited to 5 per subworld anyway. Oh, okay, we have to dodge the poison mushrooms. Yeah, I will have to learn this very accurately to have a chance of keeping the key. I know, missed a jump. But yeah, the more we learn about this, the more we practice, the easier that will be. I may go back to do Celeste at some point now that I have a streaming setup. A little bit slow there. But yeah, I mean, I've just been so busy with streaming both Mario Maker and, until recently, Paper Mario, which we finished in the story mode, but still have much more to do in terms of optional or post-game challenges, that I haven't really thought ahead to, you know, streaming plans that are further along. It won't only be Mario Maker, it'll be some other games that will be interesting to platformer people as well, I think. And we'll see. I might want to return to Celeste at some point. I definitely want to return to Hollow Knight, actually. I absolutely do think I will do a replay of Hollow Knight before Silksong. I missed a coin. Let's just scout ahead to see how doable any of that stuff is. Once again, I do need a 100% reliable pattern down cold. And a lot of subtle things can happen to mess with that when it comes to playing with the poison mushroom. I was trying to slow down a bit there to make a run for that coin. Then that's going to get me into trouble with the auto-scroll boundary later. We need to go quick. Quick, quick, quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That did not seem secure at all. Yeah, definitely losing a lot of time there. Because I was hanging back a little bit to aim for the coins. Yeah. I can see what the poison mushrooms are supposed to represent. It is based on that, I don't know what to call in Celeste, but the cosmic clone mechanic from Super Mario Galaxy, which Celeste was very openly imitating. That's the thing, we're so used to all these on-off based platforming mechanisms in Mario Maker now, with, you know, switches toggling back and forth and such. It's sort of interesting to think back to how rare that was in 2D platforming until Celeste, and that, like, there weren't many games that were overtly taking inspiration from what Galaxy was doing in 3D. Yeah, it's already like a very tough scrolling boundary, even when you're not trying to get the coins, and so doing a full survival completionist run is going to be, I think, a pretty big step up in difficulty. I need to hit that switch very efficiently in order to drop back down. Okay. Yeah, that was going to get me into big trouble. I needed to skip right over that mushroom in order to gain enough speed to get back on pace. Interesting use of that snake block at the start to give you a bit of a warning to go, go, go without just pushing you right away. Yeah, I actually do like that snake block at the start. I'm ordinarily not that fond of immediate time pressure, but in order for an auto-scroll like this to go, you kind of need that, unless you have a delayed scroll break at the very start, like some levels do. I think this works. It gives you some room to dash, while adding a bit of tension. Okay, I thought I was going to beat that timing. Should have been able to. Okay. And what do we got here? Yeah, too slow on that. Not really let the platform drop that much faster than myself. Now, one thing that I learned from playing Death to Spies Star Trek The Next Generation level, there is a particular trick to doing a Death to Spies music level well, which is that a lot of the critical jumps are in fact synchronized to the beat. And so one of the reasons that previous run went so much better was because I was thinking about the beat. I was a little bit delayed that time though, so I was out of sync. But if you're consistently going along with the rhythm, it's not as obvious here as it was in the Star Trek level, but a lot of times get sorted out that way if you play it as a rhythm game. Yeah, whoops. But I just stepped to the beat, 3 jumps there, and it actually dodged the poison pretty accurately. Yeah. So you can in fact listen to the music as a cue. Although you do need to have enough jump control, that's not going to do the whole job for you. You do still need to adjust jump heights and so on. And this is quite a bit harder in the Star Trek level, which had a lot of segments that played itself. Yeah, as you can see, I was a little bit behind now, but when the melody plays in those bars, like it synchronizes with just a series of 3 jumps. Yeah, that was going to be wrong, and I knew it was going to be wrong. As you can kind of tell from the music where you are supposed to be in the level. Okay. I have to do less sliding on the platform over there. Almost. Getting there. But I think thinking about it that way definitely makes this significantly easier. Assuming that you can actually keep a beat, of course. And occasionally, if I'm just landing on a bad spot that is introducing some lag before the next jump, and that's when I get into trouble. But it does mean that quick jumps like that are what should be key here. Landing too far to the right for that platform, that's the issue, is that I'm spending too much time going left towards the on-off switch. Okay, that was just a really awkward fall. And, you know, that's partly why I play people's older levels in the previous stream, is because you can pick up on little clues about their design habits like this. Comes to solving their latest content. I will say I'm not really looking forward to having to do the golden run. At least it is repeatable content. If I don't do the golden run this stream, I will definitely try to do it on the weekend stream. And just treat it as something that is spill over in the backlog, because I've not missed any of this completionist content yet. Really would not like to start here. Yeah, just a terrible landing every time. Need to hang left immediately once I'm past the one-way panels. That's the only way to do it. Too far to the right every time. Way too far. It's actually really difficult to land that properly. I might just need more jump height before I land on that platform such that I can reposition myself as far as possible. Yeah, like that. Okay. Saw that problem coming. Need to figure out how to nail this timing. Okay. Okay, have to just catch up a bit. Oh, too late. The poison mushroom spawns that come later are timed with their spawning position on screen, which means they will be consistent with the beat. Once again, same problem. Need a higher landing there, so the platform does not fall so soon. Here we go. Very clean. That's not so clean. Once again, I spoke too soon. Okay. Feels like I'm going too slow there every time. Definitely not too fast. I can feel like I'm behind. It's just something that becomes obvious when you get your hands on this. Yeah. Let's see. Not so good there. Okay. Okay, that's not working out so well. But way behind now. That's okay. We'll try to catch up. That's not going to be a consistent method at all. I can see how far behind I am, pretty much by a full cycle, so very strict timer. Sorry, Lantis, I don't know what you're asking about. Okay. Nope. Let's try to proceed anyway. Just to practice this segment. It seemed like at the end of the segment we had collected all but the safety coin though, so that's pretty much it for the level. We just need to figure out a pattern consistent enough that I can do it all in one go. Cinnamon bun and Mario stream in a warm bath. Life's good. I guess it would be. Now you're making me crave a cinnamon bun. Look what you've done. Oh. Oh, way behind a timer now. I'm dead. I am very, very dead. Yeah, there is a very clear intended path, and I can tell when I'm behind it. You kind of need to do nice short hops to stay with the beat. See? Oops. Okay, nice short hops. I mean, that's sort of suggested by the height on everything as well. Missed. Yeah, no, that's death. Yeah, this is going to take some effort to put together, I think. If I'm doing it from start. Which I may, depending on whether both keys are required, as I imagine they would be, or if it's just kind of an optional thing. I imagine both keys are required. Because why else would you set it up like that? Interestingly, this has some implications in that there will be 2 key doors, presumably, to match 2 keys. And if you carry the golden strawberry key from the start, then you don't need the pink coins to get through whatever door 1 is. So there are basically 2 options for getting into bonus door 1. I would expect that you need both to get through a bonus door 2 after that, but that presence of some choice for how to do the first secret is kind of interesting. If that's actually how it goes. Yeah. If I'm properly on the beat, I should be ahead of that mushroom that keeps sniping me in that spot. I'm just too slow. Okay, back down we go. That's going to be all pink coins for YMM. Looks like a depth zone here for anybody who wants to retry something. And we'll see what's through here. And we'll see if there's a second key door. Yes, there is, of course. So we'll get the weak sauce cake. And we'll finish the level, but then I feel like we can, in fact, make a serious run at true ending. Up top. Yeah. Okay, true ending, here we go. Hopefully not too long a grind, but we'll do it. And actually here, in this early part of the level, you can hear that it is set up to encourage you to play on the beat as well. It's become much more obvious to me now that I'm listening to it again. Roughly. Not as precisely as in the later segment, but... Yeah, we'll just have to get warmed up again and remember how this stuff went, and then we'll go for it. Yeah, it's not as clear here. It's, I actually kind of take that back. It's much clearer the later part. Whoops, miss. But, yeah, both keys. That's what we need. Still not confident at all about the segment in the subworld. With that last pink coin that required the jumping over poison mushrooms, but we'll see. And we'll do it until it sticks. Might be good practice for eventually doing Golden Strawberries and Celeste. I don't know if I particularly want to, but... I did get all of the red strawberries in that game, though, and I did find that since they were placed in the standard A-side levels, and in many cases were actually quite unique and well-designed platforming challenges, that was very satisfying to play the game that way. Much more to my liking than, say, some of the content that comes later in the B-sides. Miss? Are you kidding? Okay, let's do this. And yeah, just stay quick, stay focused. And that's not too bad. We've seen it a couple times. That coin always feels nice and precise. Getting into the claws has been a persistent problem, but is the last thing we really need to do before entering the subworld. There's a certain way in this level that the number of like really short bounces that you have to do in certain places actually does mimic the swiftness of the game feel of Celeste quite well. Because in Celeste you do have a lot of quick, short jumps everywhere. With the wall climb, of course, which we don't have this game. Which we don't have in this game until we find some tech to implement it. Or, you know, just use the cat suit. Not quite the same thing, though. Oh, that was unfortunate. That's a very Celeste-style death right there. Tripping over a spike in a corner. Very familiar. Okay. Yeah, just this one last task left to do. And we should hopefully be home free. Without too much delay. Okay. Doing okay with this segment so far. Ride this down, jump up, grab the coin. Let's see if we can one-shot this part here, which will be a tough call, despite all the practice we put in earlier. Oh no. I knew that was going wrong. Okay, back to start. It's okay, everything here has felt pretty smooth. Someone described Celeste as a game that made life full of joy, and then the bonus level took it all away again. Yeah, I mean, I never finished B and C sides, so... Maybe that's quite true, but I think maybe, though, playing harder levels in Mario Maker has drastically realigned my sense of difficulty, such that it's quite possible that, you know, given the degree of patience some things take in Mario, that things that formerly felt really challenging in Celeste would now feel much shorter. Like, you know, there were a lot of people who complained about the finale of Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, for instance, and I thought the finale was fantastic. But a lot of people who objected to it just didn't fundamentally approve of the idea that some levels might actually take 2 hours of practice. Particularly if they are that long. And it is a level that's like 20 minutes long, so, you know, 2 hours of practice is only 8 attempts. So we're talking 12% completion rate here. But it would take some time investment as a single level, and some people are fundamentally not okay with that. Okay, we don't want to start from checkpoint. But yeah, hopefully I can get this done quickly, and then that will be naturally the last thing before I log off. That depends on how cooperative segment 3 is going to be. And I can get all the way there without too many attempts, I think, but it's just a matter of having a really nice clean run on the last segment, which is, I think, easily harder than the other two when it comes to all the poison dodging that is involved. Know how I've been flubbing that one. Yeah, I heard that the newly patched Chapter 9 was quite vicious as well. Given that it is kind of tuned for people who have finished Seasides. Oops. And I never did the golden strawberries either, as I'm doing here. Despite the fact that I generally do find doing things with no checkpoints to be decently satisfying. And yeah, let's just see what I can do here. Yeah, and if this is really not coming together and I need to save it for backlog next weekend, that's something that might have to happen. But we'll see. I think I can probably get this under control in a decent amount of time. Oops. Okay, here we are. And yeah. Just have to do a nice full jump at the end. Starting to slip in some of the easy stuff. But at least it is 3 checkpoints, so no big loss. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yep. 1 second. Just got to take care of one thing off stream. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get back into it. This will be a blown attempt for sure. Okay. Would very much like to be able to do this. But if we do have to bail for time, we will bail. There we go. Next segment. Okay, feeling pretty clean here. And same here. Yeah, that's all fairly reliable, as long as we don't get whacked by the spike. Now let's remember all the lessons we learned in previous attempts from some minutes ago. Okay, back in sync. Nope. Just need to get back there as consistently as we can manage. And we'll see how it goes. Ideally, we're not still sitting on this an hour from now. But That's what happens when you have a slightly more threatening finale. Okay. Just have to not spend too much time on early content. Okay, one shot this segment, which is going to feel pretty nice. And now here's the part we're worried about. Why does my timing feel completely off here? Feels like I'm behind by a whole beat. But way behind. And I wonder if it was the difference between scrolling in and landing right on a checkpoint. If it is a big difference with that element, then I really don't know if I can do this in this sitting. Okay. Oh, cool. Get as much of this down as possible. I don't know why I've been missing that so often lately. And there we go. Okay. First time I failed at that. My attention is slipping a little bit just from thinking ahead to how we'll resolve the final segment. Not going to do too many more attempts on this though, because I think at this point it may be wiser to save this one. Even though we have tons of muscle memory built up for the early parts already. It's getting to the point in a day when we are slipping. Let's try to make one good attempt at segment 3. And the next time I reach segment 3, we may stop there. Because I have been on some time. We'll see if we can do it. At segment 3, the spawn timing from the pipe as opposed to the checkpoint seems to throw me off by just enough that it is requiring some further adjustment that I haven't put into practice to see yet. And given that, I think this is suddenly looking much less tractable in the short term. Okay, there we go. Nice full jump there. Let's not die to silly things. Okay. Going to do the chase here. And that is going to get me right over. So far, so good. And we'll see if we can wrap this up. Yeah, something is subtly different about the timing here. And it is going to throw me way off. Okay, at this point I think we may have to probably call it. So let's take a look at the comment art first. I'll go over my plans for when we'll wrap this up. It's typically going to be on the weekend stream, Saturday to Sunday morning at this schedule. That's likely when I will continue this and try to do a clean run with both strawberries and a full cake. And yeah, all strawberries, gang. Seems like some people are ahead of me there already, and we'll just have to hopefully join the club. Well, here's the issue with practice runs on the last part, is that the timing is a little bit different when you spawn from the pipe rather than when you spawn from a checkpoint. It's different in a very small way that actually is throwing me off, because the initial jumps aren't quite following exactly the same pattern. So I don't know how much practicing from checkpoint is actually going to do. But I think it's very clear that I do need to drop this for the moment. This level is dedicated to the memory of Wilford Brimley. Okay, so what we'll do at this point is probably just call it, and then hopefully look around for a raid, since we've finished with a fairly decent audience. This is the first time that I've had to bail on this. Oh, actually, maybe I can put in some additional attempts tomorrow. Maybe, since we were originally trying to set aside some time for unfinished business anyway. And possibly, maybe I'll be able to do it ahead of a viewer queue or something. But at any rate, this will be delayed to a different stream. And Acorn, I will consider that suggestion. Let me just scan around to see who is on and where people are going. But yeah, I'll strongly consider that recommendation, depending on what's playing. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. It's unfortunate that we couldn't quite get 100% on this run, but this is, I think, a special 100% challenge that we are going to need to put a little more time towards. So that will be all from me for today. So have a good morning or afternoon, perhaps even evening, depending on where you are. And I will bid you farewell for now and send you on your way. Stick around for a raid in just a moment. But for me, good day.